Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here. Wanted to give my weekly update on how I'm doing on selling options on my own and also swing trading. All right, so what you see here first, we'll talk about options. I have this ongoing, I'll say, watch list of different option stocks. And these are, stocks and ETFs, and a lot of them are very high risk, for sure. The only one I'm trading right now is the first one, which is TSLL. This is from Direction Daily. It's a daily Tesla Bull 1.5x shares. And then all these other ones, man, some of them are just crazy. Look at these IVs. So I'm not really messing around with them, but I do have them on my radar in case I decide to change it up, like in case Tesla goes on a bull run. And I'm not going to really want to sell puts on this, necessarily. Typically I want the stock to stay like flat-ish with a slight upward trend. But I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, let's move on. We'll see how I'm doing with TSLL. Again, this here is just the chart, not a chart, but just shows the price differential between TSLL and Tesla. So if we look right off the bat, I see on February 28th to February 29th, Tesla went down 0.08%, but TSLL went down 0.2%. Which is, I guess, I don't know. That's the thing with these 1.5x leverage. 'Cause typically, I'm looking for a 50% change, basically the way how I set up this formula. But I guess since we have like a low, like a 20% one day, and then I don't know. Maybe that's accurate, but again, I don't even know why I'm looking at this, but I just want it to make sense. So let's look and see how my options did. So I did a whole bunch of options this week. Honestly, I did too many. The ones in gray are from prior weeks, so I'm not going to cover them again. But let's just look from March 4th on. So what did I do? March 4th was Monday. So I decided to sell a put with a 950 strike. Tesla was going down. So I'm like, okay, it's probably just going to go down today. So let me just sell a put real quick. I got the 950 strike. It was about, at the time, 0.52% out of the money. I got 28 cents per share, which comes to $28 because it's 100 contracts. Again, I put up 950. When you sell a put, you have to put up the collateral. So the collateral for that would be the strike price times 100 shares, which is $950. My return on investment is 2.95%. The income per day is $7 that I calculate. The ROI, return of investment on investment per day, is 0.74%. And the annualized return, if you multiply that by 365 days, it's 268%, which obviously, yes, that's pretty damn good. Then I'm going to call this a mistake. I sold a put on the same day because I saw Tesla was going down even more. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sell another put, So I did that. I sold another put on the same exact day. And this time I had the opportunity because the stock went down. It was down to like $9.14 at the time. I'm like, I'm going to sell a put for $9 strike, just in case it goes, below the 950, my average will be, a little less. Because it looked like it was tanking. I'm like, it's probably going to be one day. So I sold it. It was, at the time, 1.53% out of the money. I got 23 cents for that. I had to shell up $900. Again, $9 strike times 100, $900. My return on investment, 2.56%. Income per day, 575. ROI per day, 0.64%. And annualized yield, 233%. So, okay, if TSLL and Tesla recovered the next day, all would have been fine. But guess what? The next day, Tesla went down even more. So you know what I did? I sold another put. So here I am. I'm selling yet another put This time I'm selling a put for $8.50. At the time it was 0.35% out of the money. I got 27 cents this time for that. Fronted amount was $850 because again, 850 times 100 is $850. In the end, the annualized yield on that was 386%. So that to me, that was a good. I'm not regretting that one. My only regret this week right now so far is I sold 2 puts in one day, and that's kind of against the strategy that I have because again, I have limited money that I put aside to do this. And sure enough, Tesla continued to tank all week. I was like, because honestly, I did run out of money. I had no money. And then Friday, I got my distribution from my YieldMax funds. And guess what? Tesla was still going down. So I'm like, you know what? As soon as that money cleared from Schwab, I sold another put. By the way, the first 3 had an expiration date of Friday of that week. This one had I moved this expiration to March 15th. So I chose an $8 strike. And again, because that would bring my average down even further, right? So at the time, the $8 strike is 3% out of the money. So, right as of, even right now, I feel pretty good about that because that one's still active. I got $20. Fronted amount was 800. So return on investment 2.5% annualized. We're looking at 130%. So as long as the annualized is over 100%, I'm pretty good. I gotta stop getting so greedy. So what happened? Well, 3 of them expired March 8th, and TSLL. Guess what? The price of TSLL was below all 3 of these strikes. So I have got assigned to all 3. So I'm going to put my action assigned. Yeah, I guess it can be gray. It doesn't matter. Come on. All right, so all 3 of these are assigned, okay? So what does that mean? That means I now own 300 shares, because again, it's 1 contract each. Each contract is 100 shares. I own 300 shares of TSLL, and my average is, think of, the in-between, 950 plus 9 plus 850 divided by 3 is $9. So my average on owning 300 shares of TSLL is $9. It's currently priced somewhere in the low $8 range. So selling calls with a strike of $9 as of right now is not too appealing, but let's, hopefully the market opens up, in the upward trend on Monday, and then I could start selling calls. If not, unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait until this $8 put either gets assigned or, expires worthless. We'll see. But again, the mistake I made this week is I used too much money in advance. I don't want to sell 2 puts in one day, just in case, again, the stock goes down the next day, right? And it did. Tesla went down every day. So I should have waited and used my money, spread it out. So I would have eventually probably had a better average compared to where it stands today. Because, I didn't think Tesla was going to go down every day. But what do I know, right? You never know. That's the thing. So, but again, I own 300 shares. So guess what? It's the other side of the wheel, which is selling calls. But I can't sell calls. Well, I can, but I don't want to sell calls unless I could sell calls for at least $9. I could sell $9 and above. I don't want to sell below 9 because, again, I don't want to lose any capital. I could take the premium in consideration, but again, it's, I like to keep it simple, straightforward. So right now we're in what's called the rescue mission. I'm trying to rescue my average versus the current price of TSLL. So if Tesla continues to go down, I'm going to need to get money aside to sell more puts to lower the average. But let's hope this rescue mission is very short term and it's not needed. Anyway, let's move on. So total income, this is week 3. Total income that I made is $98. So far in 3 weeks, I made $206. The capital I needed this week though was a little more, is $3,500. I yielded 2.8%, and that comes to 145% annually. Okay. So again, week 1 was 80. That was, I got lucky on a lot of things. Week 2 was a little slow, only $28. Week 3, $98. So I'm at $206 total. So again, but I'm, right now I'm not in a good position. So this looks good on paper, but the position I'm in is not that great, especially if Tesla continues to go down. So my average yield annually comes to 143% based on the weekly payouts. So again, hypothetical, if I used more capital, like $20,000, and I times that by 143% annualized yield, we're looking at annual income of $28,000, or which comes to $2,300 monthly, or $553 weekly. This is just an example. If I'd use more money, like $20,000 to do options, I could possibly make this amount. But again, it's never as smooth as you think. So guys, this is a perfect example why you have to be careful when doing options on your own, but you have to, again, this is my opinion, you have to have cash aside for the rescue missions. But, I have cash, but unfortunately most of it is locked up into my high yield funds. Because again, I'm doing options through the same account as my high yield investments, my Retire Now account. So I'm trying not to disturb that, but if I have to, I have to. Okay, so that's it on the options update. Real quick, I want to show you at least some good news. TSLL actually pays a dividend. So first things first, TSLL, this is the website, by the way. They're changing from a 1.5x to a 2x, and this is effective April 2nd. So it's going to be even more volatile, which makes the premium better. However, it's much, much more risky because it's going to move 2 times as much as Tesla. All right. So that's not the good news. I'll show you the good news in a second. The good news is the dividend. So I'm scrolling through. The last dividend I'm showing was paid on December 29th. The X date was December 21st. So I'm expecting a dividend coming up this month, the month of March. Actually, wait, there's another one. Short term. Oh no, wait. X date. Oh, the last one was actually, okay, X date was December 8th. All right, so they may have recently, I don't know if they recently paid a dividend. Let's look at March of last year. Income dividend, okay, yeah, 0.04. Oh, yeah, no, okay, so the last dividend, that was a short-term capital gain, the prior one. Yeah, so the last income dividend, you can see on the top. Yeah, all right. So if this is still aligned, we could probably expect a dividend coming through. So that's a good thing. So if I own 300 shares, I'll get 300 times whatever dividend is. So the last dividend was 12 cents. So that could be pretty good. Again, I don't know. They didn't announce the March dates. So I'm assuming they didn't happen yet. If they did, then that sucks. But if they didn't, then I own 300 shares and I need to consider that. Hopefully they announce it soon, but I need to consider that before I start selling calls, right? Because maybe I'll take, I'll wait and take that dividend. So that would be a bonus of holding these shares. All right, moving on to swing trading. How did I do on swing trading? Guess what? A new list. I have swing stocks, we'll call them. So I got a new list, and yes, I'll fix the 30-day IV formula. Now that I have a laptop, I can actually go online, Google, and fix these formulas. So I was just trading Tesla and coin, but as I'm doing this, the excitement is in the 3X and the 2Xs and all that jazz, right? So as I'm buying Tesla, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to look into 2X Tesla, 2X coin, 2X whatever. So I'm going to venture out, but these are all the ones I'm looking at. Obviously, again, these double leverage or triple leverage is much, much more risky. So be careful before you touch any of these. But now that I have a solid list here, I'm gonna do, again, I do the price range and I do the percentage from the low for the 52-week low. And if I'm close to the low, it'll say low based on the formula. Like TMF is 32% away from its low. So maybe that's a good chance. And look at Tesla, man. Still Tesla, 15% away from the low. And then we got this one, right? This is China 3X shares. Not sure you want to mess with that one, but still, that's 12% away from the low. And look at this, man. TSLT, 1.25% away from the low. And then we have this, Apple. Guess what? Apple's near a low. And T-Rex has a 2X leverage Apple. So if you want to swing trade Apple, that's a pretty cool fund. Because again, keep in mind, swing trading, it's short term, okay? It's really short term. You buy and you sell on the gain. Whatever gain you accept, you move on. So let's go to my Tesla trades. I updated my spreadsheet, just so you know. So to date, I only sold 10 of my Tesla shares. So to date, my profit on Tesla is $189.16. All right. So what else happened? Well, I've been buying Tesla. Going into this week, I owned 10 shares. And this week, it just kept going down. So guess what happened? I kept buying because it was under my cost basis. I bought 5, 10, 15, 25. I bought 30 shares this week. So now I own 40. Yeah, I own 40 shares. Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, 40 shares. I own 40 shares with an average cost basis of $178.73. Again, my plan with swing trading is if it dips the following day and is below my cost basis, I'm going to buy 5 more shares. Clearly this week, again, I got a little crazy on the 5th, I bought 10, and then Friday I bought 10. So I got a little too excited because I feel like Tesla's going to turn it around, but now that I say that, I'm going to jinx myself and it's going to continue to drop. But who knows? Again, if it continues to drop, that's the beauty. I have more cash in this account. This is the retirement account. This is the 401k. I have more cash that I will continue to average down until Tesla decides to turn it around. And I'll be ready and excited to sell because I'm not going to fall in love with any single one of these stocks. And I'm going to sell in batches of 5. I'm going to buy in batches of 5. I'm going to sell in batches of 5. So it's going to be first in, first out. So as I sell, my sell price, I'll plug it in. And again, hopefully it's a decent profit and I'll show my gains. All right. So again, you can see the gains so far. First batch I sold, I got 7% gain, 7.93%. And then in second batch, I got 12.72%. So again, since if I'm going to own, like right now I own 40 shares, right? And I get I don't know what the minimum is. I'm probably going to settle at 10% at this point, right? But who knows? It's just about making money. It's not about how much money. It's just about making money. So that's what I did on Tesla. And unfortunately, I got even more greedy and I added TSLT. This is the double leverage Tesla fund from Rex Shares. So in this one, I'm going to buy in 50 share batches because look at the buy price, $11. So it's much cheaper. So it only cost me about $5.88 for the first batch. And then $5.69 for the second batch. So I bought 2 batches on Friday, and this will move 2 times, the direction of Tesla. So guess what? Now, if Tesla keeps dropping next week, I now have to add to 2 different funds. Again, I don't recommend this, but what my plan is actually to once I get rid of all my Tesla shares, I'm gonna only buy TSLT going forward. Because it's double leveraged, it's more money, higher risk, but of course, higher reward. And that's what I'm all about right now, making higher reward. So if I'm going to swing trade, I'm going to swing trade double. Why not? Same thing with coin. Coin is a little more volatile though. But by the way, everything in gray obviously means it's sold. So I currently don't own coin, but to date, you can see how much I made on coin, right? So if I go down, total profit overall, I've made $769.62 because if you look on the left, I had my average cost basis all the way down to like 164. But anyway, I was selling, the first batch I made $37, second batch $90, third 151, and then 198, and then 291. So my gains, for each batch, got better and better, because typically I'm selling more as the price goes up. So of course my gains are going to be better, especially with the first in, first out, because the first in is usually the higher cost basis. So anyway, yeah, right now with coin, I don't own any because it kept going up. So I wasn't going to really buy into it, especially since I have all these other funds now. As you know, I did add TQQQ. I did not sell them yet. I currently only own 10 shares. The batches I bought of this was 5 as well. I could probably make it 10 due to the price. But I didn't see an opportunity to sell. I also did not see an opportunity to buy because it never went below my cost basis. SOXL, I only bought 5, and then guess what? I was up 13%. Like a day or two later, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sell. So I took the profit. I made like $30. So, and then guess what? SOXL just kept going up. So maybe I should have waited, but whatever. Again, I'm happy. I made $30, and I'll buy into SOXL, when I feel like it, and then we'll continue. AAPX is the newest addition to my swing trading. Again, this is Apple, and Apple is at near a 52-week low, and I definitely believe in Apple. Apple is much less volatile than Tesla, but again, with 2x Apple, it can move pretty good. So I decided to do batches of this one at 25 shares. So I bought this on Friday. My buy price was $20.79, so I paid about $5.19. Again, we'll see how Apple goes next week. If it continues to go down, I'll buy some more batches, each and every day. But as of right now, again, I'll add a tab for each one. But it's, as far as the swing trading goes, obviously, like I went overboard on Tesla. I have way too much going on with Tesla. But yeah, so I have a couple things I could do with this one, because again, I want to get rid of the Tesla and just use TSLT. So since I have 40 shares active that are open, if I just buy I could just buy 60 and then sell calls until they get executed, or I could just continue what I'm doing and hopefully make a pretty profit, which I'll probably do that. I'll probably just continue to just buy in batches, and then I'll sell it off as, because Tesla will turn it around at some point, maybe before earnings, maybe after earnings, maybe on earnings. Hopefully, the last 2 earnings it's tanked. So I'm hoping this could be the one that'll do well. But I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, that's the update on my options trading and in my swing trading. But, so far so good. Again, options a little struggling right now, but swing trading, it's okay. But with swing trading, I have much more cash in that account than I do in my taxable account. So it gives for much more flexibility. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you're learning from this journey. If you are, please let me know. It's always appreciated if I know, because I know, I'm getting views on these videos, but I haven't really gotten much feedback. So if you're learning from either the options section or the swing trading section, please let me know. I'm just curious if it helps you. If there's a point to this, if you guys care about this, I assume the plan is just to do it weekly. Because again, I'm doing it anyway. I might as well just tell you guys how else I'm making money outside of my dividends. Figured I'd share my whole journey, So yeah, let me know in the comments if you do enjoy this content, or if it's helped. I'm just curious, or if it has not helped. It's all good. I can hear the good and the bad. But as always, this is honestly not financial advice. It's fun and entertainment. I'm just sharing my journey along the way. But if you happen to learn a few things, that's great. If not, so be it. At least you're entertained, hopefully. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. Tune in next week for the update. We'll see how Tesla recovers, or if it doesn't. And I could be in a bigger hole, or I could be sitting pretty. Time will tell. But again, this is why you can't put all your eggs in one basket. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. Okay? Thank you for watching. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you later.